Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Bowen of Bowen Small Engines, and I wanted to continue off of the video that I just posted, okay, on how to make your own wire harness, okay, for your small engine or your riding lawnmower. So basically this is the diagram that I was going to show you before I ran out of time. You can see that off of the stator on the DC side, I led the wire, okay, which is orange, back up to the lights. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that wire I labeled as I think it's blaze orange. Yes, the lights wire is blaze orange. And the ground wire is brown. The battery wire, of course, is red. The celluloid wire is black. And the mag wire, or the kill switch wire, is actually pumpkin orange. Now the reason that I'm showing this is so I can give you an idea as to how the wires go from the key switch down to the battery and which wires lead to the celluloid, because it's very easy to get this mixed up. Typically where the mistake is found is right here, where the wires go onto the celluloid. Now, as you can see, I've drawn this picture to try to help everyone realize which wires go where. And if you look closely, you'll see that the battery wire with the fuse that I mentioned earlier, okay, will lead to this pole on the celluloid, okay. Also, there's a battery cable, okay, the positive cable that comes off of the battery will lead to the side of the celluloid that also has the fuse, which leads to the key switch. Now on the opposite side of the celluloid, you want to run the other red cable, okay, the other red cable wire to the starter. Now note that I've drawn a little arrow here showing you on the celluloid, okay, on the celluloid, which I'm trying to find here. I'm looking over my paper, and you can see that there is a negative battery cable. You want to put that behind the celluloid itself and then ground it to the battery. That will make sure that the celluloid's grounded and the motor, basically everything that's supposed to be grounded, okay, will be grounded by doing that. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, it's pretty easy looking at a piece of paper, okay, and trying to figure out all this. So I'm going to try to hold the wire harness up that I had a while ago and show you how I connected everything to the celluloid and where it would potentially go if you know, I had the other cables on, which led to the starter and which led to the battery. So I'm starting out here. As you can see, this is the same key switch. If you look on the back of the key switch, you'll see that I have a blaze orange, a black, a red, a brown, and another pumpkin orange. The brown wire, which you can see on the celluloid here, I led down and made it lead into the celluloid, okay, on this side of the celluloid. I'll try to show you, okay. This is the brown wire that I led into this post on the celluloid. Of course, there's the celluloid wire, which also has to go onto the celluloid in order to activate it, okay. That's the black wire here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why is there two brown wires? Well, the reason being is because if you wanted to hook up your AC wire, okay, which I'll describe later, you would need a place to ground, okay, the opposite side of the bulbs that you would hook up to the AC wire. And of course, this is the fuse terminal, okay, that would go on this side of your celluloid, okay, as well as there will be a positive cable on this side as well, as I showed you in the paper. That would go to your battery, and then this side would go to the starter. Okay, you have to be able to do it that way, because if you try to put this wire on this side, which is where the cable would go to the starter, then your engine isn't going to crank, because it can't get the current, okay, that it's supposed to from the battery. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're making the wire harness. Also, on the stator, I explained earlier that there is a orange wire. Well, this is that orange wire, this blaze orange wire. It will connect to the little terminal that I was showing you, the connector that goes to the stator. Now remember, I said it would go on the DC side. Now if you look, you'll see there's a groove. Do you see the groove in the connector? Yeah. That groove is the DC wire. Okay, you can see that it matches this wire perfectly. So this wire here that's red and black would be the one that I would connect to the orange wire, which goes to the lights. This wire here, which just happens to be bluish green, would be the AC wire. Okay, that's the AC wire. This AC wire will get another wire coming out of it, if you choose, that will have your bulbs for the headlights in front of your lawnmower, and it will come down and ground against your your brown wire that I showed you on the celluloid. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is the other side, okay, the AC side, and it will ground against the brown wire with bulbs. Okay, you don't want to hook them up like this, because you're just going to wind up burning your wire harness up. You want to make sure that you have bulbs, okay, your headlights typically, connected to one side of the ground and one side on the AC. Okay, once they're hooked up, you can plug it straight back into your stator, which will be connected to the engine. I just took this off for demonstration purposes. Okay, and you should be able to start your engine. You shouldn't have any problems.